Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the 12th Annual Rising Stars Awards. This is great to be back in person. I know we have some limited capacity. We have a live stream going on, but it is so great to see people, even if we're only seeing half of each other's faces. It is so great. I'm excited to be here. I hope you're excited to be here to celebrate some extraordinary young people here in the Granite State and those companies that go above and beyond to support them. This year's event, of course, looks a little bit different than it has in years past. That said, we are happy that this year's event can be a hybrid one, which, as I said, features limited in-person capacity here at the Currier Museum of Art in Manchester, as well as a live broadcast to all corners of the Granite State. This hybrid event is pretty new for us, and as such, we ask for your patience and grace in the event of any particular technical difficulties or some times as we might be wiping down mics between speakers. Before we begin tonight's program, though, just want to take just a few moments to take a look back at the past year at Stay Work Play and what's brought us here tonight. 2021 has been a challenging year for Stay Work Play, and I think for all of us, for all of our organizations, for all of our families, and for all of us individually. And like many organizations, Stay Work Play has had to pivot with regard to how we meet our mission. But our mission itself, to attract and retain more young people here in New Hampshire, has not changed one bit. Indeed, from all of the help wanted signs that I think we're all seeing at pretty much every store we go in, every organization that I know of seems to be hiring, including Stay Work Play. If anyone knows a content and communications manager, we're hiring. Yes. Thank you. I think I heard the former communications manager clapping. But it's shown us all too well, just how strong and how great the need is for more young people here in New Hampshire. And, for an organization like Stay Work Play and for all of the support that you give us and work with us to accomplish this mission. And while tonight is our first real in-person event since before the pandemic, it's not to say that Stay Work Play hasn't been very busy in these last 18, 20 months. Indeed, we've had a very robust lineup of offerings in 2021. Starting in January and concluding in March, we had our Matters of State series, which saw us virtually visit 9 different regions of the state, bringing together young people in each region with those legislators who represent them in Concord to discuss the policy issues that affect them and whether or not they might stay in or leave their corners of New Hampshire. What we learned from the Matters of State series has helped to further our nonpartisan issues-based advocacy program in Concord during the 2021 session. And we're now approaching actually our third year of advocacy, and third year in which Stay Work Play has engaged the state legislature on issues that affect whether young people stay or leave. And this year, of course, was a little bit different, even at the legislature, and we were able to participate via Zoom, as were a lot of us. I think not just Stay Work Play, but really it was great that not only could young people and those who care about those issues, tune in and listen and watch, but actually be able to provide testimony. And it is certainly our hope that this opportunity will continue in 2022 and even post-COVID, to give young people who don't always have the opportunity or the availability to go to Concord at for a random 10:30 a.m. Public hearing on a Wednesday to be able to do that. So in addition to housing affordability, childcare, student debt, and protecting New Hampshire's outdoor recreational amenities, this year saw the Stay Work Play Advocacy Committee and our Board of Directors add diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, as one of the organization's key policy priority areas that we championed during the legislative year, and the goal being to aim to make the Granite State more welcoming and inclusive to everyone, but most especially to people of color. Since we last gathered together, Stay Work Play also launched our ongoing Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion series to foster conversation, enable learning experiences, and to push for change. This programming, which has ranged from conversations with young entrepreneurs of color to a 4-part anti-racist action series, has been, hands down, the most well-attended of all of the virtual programming that Stay Work Play has organized during the pandemic. Coming in a very close second to our DEI series for virtual attendance, record-breaking, has been New Hampshire Next, a summit for young changemakers, which has really become, really probably one of my favorite activities and initiatives and events that Stay Work Play puts on. And this year, as in the past 2 years, we were able to showcase and give a platform to young people making positive change and making a difference here in the Granite State in everything from the arts to entrepreneurship to social justice. Excuse me. 2021 also saw the launch of an Insider's Guide to Greater Nashua, our latest installment of our Regional Insider's Guide series, with an Insider's Guide to the Seacoast coming very soon. And as we look ahead to 2022, Stay Work Play continues to respond to the evolving needs of the state employers and those, young people and those who employ them. One of the big things that we've learned from some of our conversations that we've had, as well as recent survey data and other research, is a desire on the part of young employees for their employers to offer them personal and professional development opportunities. And that's why I'm excited to announce tonight that the Rising Stars Leadership Program, which will kick off in January and will give employers an opportunity to be responsive to the needs of their young employees by providing them the opportunity to show their employees that they value them by providing them access to formal leadership training, professional development, and coaching, which will teach them an array of skills that will benefit them in their careers and their communities here in New Hampshire. More to come on this exciting opportunity and how to take part in the coming days. With that, I'd also like to take a moment to recognize those whose support makes tonight's program possible. Thank you to the dedicated efforts of the crew at Productions, Inc., the Currier Museum of Art, our host venue tonight, our Rising Stars Awards partner, New Hampshire Public Radio, and the Stay Work Play staff and all of our sponsors and donors and volunteers. Please join me in thanking all of these talented people and organizations who make this night possible. A key part of our continued success are those who regularly align themselves with and help push forward our mission. For that, I'd also like to recognize our board of directors, board of advisors, and members of the state's Young Professionals Networks, and the volunteers who serve on our committees and our volunteer bloggers. Our people are truly our biggest asset, and we thank you. I'd now like to take a moment to introduce Alan Chong, Executive Director of the Currier Museum of Art, tonight's venue sponsor, to the stage for a few remarks. Alan.
Before I issue an official welcome to you all, and we're happy you're here, we too have several positions that are open. Karen Graham is our HR director in the back. She'll be taking resumes, but we're looking for a stewardship director, we're looking for a manager of ops, and a curatorial assistant, so they're all really sexy jobs, and you get to work in a great art museum. And welcome people like you. So it's a challenge all the way around. And what Stay Work Play does is very much aligned with our mission. We are keen on making the region livable, exciting, and creative. And that's really how we actually share a lot of those same values. The pandemic's been tough for everybody. We've tried to pivot digitally. We were well prepared. We took advantage of foundation grants and some federal grants in order to outfit digital classrooms. We took the opportunity to shuffle our real estate holdings a little bit. We sold one of our former art school, and that's now going to become a group of apartments for Dean Kamen's outfits. And I hope by doing all of this that we can liven up our neighborhood here in Manchester and actually become an amenity for the entire region. We also try very hard to serve social needs, to meet the challenges of people in crisis through therapy, through wellness programs. So we run, I think, an innovative opioid program to help families, parents, and siblings of those who are suffering from the opioid crisis. We've started an expanded program for veterans. We do a long-established Alzheimer's cafe to help people with memory loss. And during the pandemic, we really made an effort to address issues of teen anxiety, the missed milestones of proms, goodness only knows, and graduations, that kind of thing. And so this has been a very successful program that started online and has now morphed into a hybrid thing. Art is therapeutic. It's wonderful. It provides a level of understanding. It opens up discussions and a way of thinking about yourself and the people around you. I hope you enjoyed your visit upstairs. I saw many of you in the galleries, and we're just pleased that you're here taking advantage of the museum. Please come back, join our program, see our exhibitions. But this is such a very happy collaboration. Have a really great evening.
Thank you, Alan, and thank you to yourself and the entire team at the Currier. You're always such a joy to work with. In this, I believe, our third year here at the Currier Museum of Art in Manchester, and it is a beautiful facility, and we very much enjoy our partnership. We'll now hear remarks up on the screen from Doug Foley, the president of Eversource New Hampshire, our lead Evening Star sponsor.
Eversource is proud to join this year's celebration of Rising Stars. These young professionals and cool companies are making a difference here in the Granite State. They're giving back to their communities and promoting an environment where young people will stay, work, and play. Even during COVID-19 pandemic, these young people and companies have their eyes on a brighter future. In the office, in the community, they're leading the way. At Eversource, we're committed to providing safe, reliable energy to all our neighbors. We also support workforce development because we know a strong workforce is critical to New Hampshire's success. That's why we support Stay, Work, Play. We want to help recognize young leaders and businesses that are energizing New Hampshire and moving our state forward. Congratulations to this year's Rising Stars. Thank you all for making New Hampshire such a special place to stay, work, play.
As New England's largest utility, Eversource delivers electricity, natural gas, and water to more than 4 million customers throughout New England. Like here in New Hampshire, where fresh forward thinking is helping to improve reliability and develop clean energy solutions, where dedicated and passionate employees work and live, giving back to their communities, not only by delivering the energy to meet the growing demand from our customers, but by digging in and helping them realize their hopes and dreams. This is New Hampshire, and we are Eversource.
I'd like to thank Doug and everyone from Eversource Energy for your critical support of tonight's event and Stay, Work, Play in general. If not for you, the Rising Stars Awards for 2021 simply would not be possible. And we here at Stay, Work, Play are very, very appreciative of Eversource's continuing support, especially during these challenging times. I'd now like to ask Jim Schachter, the CEO and president of New Hampshire Public Radio, our partner for the 2021 Rising Stars Awards, indeed, our partner for this event for the last 10 years, to the stage. Jim.
Thanks, Will. And thanks to everybody here at the Currier and those of you watching from home for your support of this great event. What a joy it is to be at this inspiring museum. Although, Alan, I've been sitting here in the front and worrying what Frank Lloyd Wright would think about this being a little bit off. But I didn't want to come up and start moving it and then have the podium fall down or whatever. If you haven't been to the Currier recently, get to Manchester. And if you come, join me and my wife, Pam, if you can, in becoming a member. This is just an amazing institution. In these unsettled times, I suspect that many of you, like me, are searching for a North Star that helps keep you moving ahead, even when the ground feels a little shaky under your feet. The spirit of these Rising Stars Awards, the idea that we can learn from our youth, the idea that innovation can never stop, the idea that we work best when we work in common cause to move New Hampshire forward. That spirit, I think, can serve as our North Star, not just tonight, but for months and years to come. Tonight, we connect over our shared optimism for our future here in New Hampshire, a place where civic engagement and the ethos of neighbors helping neighbors are deep in our bones. All of us at New Hampshire Public Radio are delighted, as Will mentioned, to be marking the 10th year of our partnership with Stay Work Play in these Rising Stars Awards, and we're excited tonight to bring together our inspiring young award recipients. Here's where I joke that everybody seems young to me right now. But to bring them together along with our business and nonprofit communities and leaders from all across the state. You may know, it may be impossible not to know given how often we talk about it, that NHPR is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. That means casting an eye back to the past, not for the sake of nostalgia, although a little nostalgia is fine, but to remind ourselves of our roots, of the values that prompted community-minded people to come together in 1981 to create an independent, listener-supported news organization, and also the roll-up-your-sleeves, rally-around-the-mic effort that got WeVo on the air. Those values, they just could not be more important today. They boil down to the idea that independent, trustworthy journalism makes life better for our state and all of its many communities. In times like these, I believe, I know that honest, factual reporting that reaches out into all of our state's varied and diverse corners, is as essential to building healthy communities as clean water, clean air, and nutritious food. Our job at NHPR, very much like the job of Stay Work Play and the Currier, is to expand the circle of people who care in New Hampshire, people who care about our civic life, people who care about our environment, people who care about their neighbors, because our journalism helps them get to know their neighbors better. That is why NHPR is investing in journalism that builds deeper connections among people across New Hampshire. And we're very intentionally setting out to reach and build connections with communities that haven't always been part of our NHPR family over these last 40 years. For example, our host tonight, my colleague Daniela Ali, has spent much of the past 2 years developing deep relationships in our state's Hispanic and immigrant communities. She, not quite single-handedly, but pretty much single-handedly, pulled together an advisory board that helped us launch our Spanish language news service, KI de Nuevo New Hampshire, What's New New Hampshire. And she's worked with that group and our newsroom and development teams to position us to hire our first Report for America journalist, Gabby Lozada. Gabby lives and works here in Manchester. She reports in Spanish and English, on the radio and on the web, in audio and photos and videos. She finds and tells stories about the immigrants who shape everyday life here in the Queen City, just as they have since the days of the mills. We've also launched a new feature during Weekend Edition on Saturday called Give Back New Hampshire, featuring the stories of nonprofits that are building a stronger state family by family, town by town. That's just one of nearly a dozen new features we've introduced in the last few months as we strive to make our news programs on the radio and online at nhpr.org, and our podcasts like Civics 101, Outside In, and our investigative reporting show Document ever more responsive to the needs and concerns of the people we serve. So I invite you to join us by tuning into Morning Edition from 5 to 10 on weekday mornings, and to All Things Considered from 4 to 6:30 in the afternoons, both to get informed and to hear just how deeply committed we are to raising your voices and your concerns into our reporting and into our interviews with public officials, candidates, and just generally people in positions of power. Like Stay Work Play, like the Currier, we believe in fun too. I don't want to leave that part out. You can go online at nhpr.org. I would say right now, but I don't want to distract you from listening to me. But right now, to sign up for our new Weekender newsletter, every Thursday we recommend 10 great things to do around the state, many of them events and performances our users bring to our attention. Because all of you, are the public in public radio. And NHPR really does aim to be public media for all, for everybody in New Hampshire, whatever your first language, whatever your politics, wherever you live. Something like 150,000 of your neighbors listen every month, and close to 300,000 visit our website. If you're here tonight or watching at home and you're not yet part of this NHPR community of people who care deeply about our state, I invite you to join us via whatever medium you prefer. Now, to the business at hand. I am delighted to introduce the aforementioned host of tonight's program, Daniela Ali. Daniela is NHPR's managing editor of Spanish News and our reporter covering the Upper Valley and the Monadnock. So she's pretty busy, and she's very talented, and I'm very honored to be her colleague. Here's Daniela.
Thanks so much, Jim. I'm really thrilled to be here this evening. This is actually my first time here in the Currier, and it's been delightful to wander around for a little bit. I live, as Jim mentioned, in the Upper Valley and don't often get down here to Manchester, so it's been exciting to see this part of the state. Well, this museum specifically. So I am really excited to host the 2021 Rising Stars Award, and as a young professional who has made the decision to stay, work, and play here, I'm really delighted to celebrate other folks who are doing the same thing. As young people here, we get to enjoy not just this museum, but the natural resources of this whole state, all the things that New Hampshire can afford, and how we are working to make that a place for more young people to live here. So before we get to tonight's program, we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors who have made this evening possible. New Hampshire Public Radio, Eversource, the Currier Museum of Art, Productions, Inc., Dartmouth College, Manchester Boston Regional Airport, GYK Antler, Fidelity Investments, Shaheen Finney, St. Mary's Bank, Barry Dunn, Higher Alliance, McLean Middleton, Sprague Energy, and Allegra Boverman Photography. Can you please join us in a round of applause to say special thanks? And now on to our program. So the 2021 Rising Stars Awards consist of 7 award categories: College Student of the Year, Intern of the Year, Civic Leader of the Year, Young Entrepreneur of the Year, COVID-19 Crusader Award, Coolest Employer for Young People, and Young Person of the Year. So in addition to receiving an engraved award, all of this year's winners will receive commendations from United States Senator Jeanne Shaheen, U.S. Representative Chris Pappas, Governor Chris Sununu, and Manchester Mayor Joyce Craig. So thanks to all of our elected officials for recognizing the achievements of our winners. I started the applause a second too early, but and to our judges that provided their time and talent in selecting this year's winners, we thank you as well. So we know it wasn't an easy task, so please find the judges' names listed in your program, and let us take a moment to recognize them too. And now we get to go to our awards. So to help present the College Student of the Year Award, please welcome to the stage Shelby Miuso, Assistant Vice President, College Planning and Outreach at the New Hampshire Higher Education Assistance Foundation.
Good evening. The College Student of the Year Award recognizes an outstanding college student living and going to school in New Hampshire between the ages of 18 and 40, who is an academic rising star and is giving back to their community. Aubrey Porter is currently a senior at the University of New Hampshire, who has made a significant difference in the surrounding community. While pursuing a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a minor in Spanish, Aubrey has been able to earn a 3.93 GPA, has been on the Dean's List for 5 consecutive semesters, and was part of the Hamel Scholars Program in her junior year. Although her academic achievements are impressive, Aubrey's involvement in the community that truly makes her stand out. This commitment began through volunteering with Proves, a community service program for incoming freshmen. She continued this trend of giving back to the community by becoming involved in a multitude of organizations. She is a member of the university's community service fraternity, Alpha Phi Omega, works at the Organic Garden Club, and serves as secretary of the board of directors at the Ways Meat Center. Furthermore, through her role as the coordinator of the Cornucopia Food Pantry, Aubrey treats every patron with care and openness. In fact, she worked through the pandemic and was critical in adapting the service delivery format in order to continue to serve patrons. She embodies the Ways Meat Center's core beliefs that everyone is deserving of care, support, and dignity. In the words of her nominator, Aubrey leads with example and with heart. Her maturity and generosity are hard to match. Please join me in welcoming this year's College Student of the Year, Aubrey Porter. Congratulations.
Hi, I just wanted to thank my family and my friends who support me, and then my nominator and everyone at UNH, and obviously the Ways Meat Center and the work they're doing there. And then thank you to the Currier Museum and Stay Work and Play for hosting this event. Thank you.
Congrats, Aubrey. We really can't wait to see what you do after you graduate. So please welcome to the stage to help present this year's Intern of the Year Award, Caitlin Woods, Social Media Manager for Eversource Energy.
The Intern of the Year Award recognizes an exceptional young person in New Hampshire between the ages of 18 and 40 who made an exemplary impact on a New Hampshire company during their time as an intern. This year's Intern of the Year is Emma Wisniewski. After graduating from the University of Rochester with the Bachelor of Science in Microbiology and a minor in Epidemiology, Emma decided to stay in New Hampshire to start her career at Partnership for Public Health in Laconia, New Hampshire. Emma has been pursuing her interests in public health. She joined the organization during the pandemic to help them adapt and combat the COVID-19 virus, as well as to serve the public. While Emma started in an entry-level position, she understood the full scope of the organization's important work. Throughout her internship, Emma brought out-of-the-box thinking to the table and advanced creative ideas and solutions, enabling Partnership for Public Health to continue enhancing its public service. As an intern, Emma faced a public health emergency, and she made a noticeable difference. In her role as an intern, Emma was an integral part of the organization's response to COVID-19. She created a vaccine point of distribution system, recruited and scheduled volunteers for point of distribution sites, created Public Health Network, a COVID-19 resource newsletter, registered vaccine recipients, and created Partnership for Public Health's COVID-19 vaccine informational resource page and blog, among many other achievements. In the words of her nominator, Emma understands the significance of the work she is doing and the impact it has on our most vulnerable populations. This drives her day after day to be the best she can. Emma, please join us on stage to accept your award.
Thank you to Stay Work Play for awarding me the Intern of the Year award, and thank you so much to my supervisor, John Beeland, for nominating me.
Thank you so much.
Emma, thanks for all the hard work that you have done, and congratulations again to Emma. So to help present the Civic Leader of the Year Award, please welcome to the stage Emmett Soldati, owner of Teetotaler Cafe in Somersworth and winner of the 2019 Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award and a young civic leader in his own right.
The Civic Leader of the Year Award recognizes an individual who, through their volunteerism, philanthropy, and community involvement, demonstrates a commitment to civic participation, strengthening their community, and developing personal leadership capacity to make New Hampshire a better place for future generations. The Civic Leader of the Year is Jonathan Weinberg. He was elected to Concord School Board in 2020 as the youngest elected person to serve on the board. He brings a new perspective and inspires other young people to get involved with the community. He won the seat on the board during a time of change and a time when Concord School District was facing some tough issues such as student safety, administration conduct, and social and racial inequities. He first captured the attention of his nominator and the community as he coordinated a walk of over 1,000 students to bring attention to gun violence prevention while still in school. Jonathan's involvement in the state is impressive and clearly shows how much he's invested in making the state a better place. He regularly collaborates with community groups and organizations such as the Kent Street Coalition, Granite State Progress, Black Lives Matter Nashua and Manchester, New Hampshire Youth Movement, Granite State Progress, and more, along with all of his community involvement. Jonathan also frequently volunteers as a peacekeeper at local protests and marches, and he has completed nonviolent direct action and civil disobedience training offered by the American Friends Services community, and regularly testifies in the New Hampshire House and Senate. He advocates for issues that impact many different Granite Staters, including those issues surrounding racial justice, gun violence prevention, the environment, and so much more. Through his civic leadership and participation, Jonathan hopes he can make New Hampshire and the world a better place for all. He strives to empower more young people to get involved with their communities and their governments. In the words of his nominator, Jonathan Weinberg is an energetic, authentic young leader who is making a real impact on New Hampshire through his service and activism for social, racial, and environmental equity. Jonathan, please join us on the stage to accept your award.
I told Will I'd make this less than 10 minutes, but as a typical politician, we'll say more or less. Thank you, Emmett, as well. I can't wait to visit Teetotaler when you're in Concord so soon. So keep supporting local businesses. Good way to keep young people in the state. Thank you to Will Stewart and the Stay Work Play team for putting together a wonderful program tonight, both in person and remote. Additionally, thank you to all the sponsors who have helped Stay Work Play maintain their mission to make New Hampshire more accessible for young people. Working in New Hampshire as a young person is interesting, especially in political advocacy. Contrary to the demographic makeup of the New Hampshire state legislature, there are many young people involved in political advocacy. So I want to recognize all those who work tirelessly every day to fight for equity, justice, and shaping a Granite state that is welcoming, inclusive, accepting, and has an infrastructure that is suitable for young people and young families. So I want to give a hand of applause for everyone. The past couple years have been headlined with struggle. Unemployment, death, famine, war, change, political polarization, mental health emergencies. My family has struggled. I have struggled. For years, I've told myself, I'm okay. Everything will be okay. Like a mother whispering in your ear when you drop an ice cream cone as a kid. I wanted to be okay. I want to be okay. The truth is, I'm not okay. For years, I have struggled with severe anxiety, depression, and passive suicidal ideation. I thought it was a blimp, mere momentary feelings that would eventually depart. Then moments turned to seconds, which turned to minutes, which turned to hours, days, weeks, months, and years. The reality is that I always knew the feelings were so strong I couldn't deal with them alone. So like any tough guy, what I did was buckle up more rather than let people in. I was afraid that by asking for help, it would be taken away from someone else in order to help me rather than shared. A normal thing that many people feel. We have such a grossly underfunded mental health system that we have people experiencing mental health emergencies waiting in emergency rooms overnight for days, waiting for a bed at a psychiatric facility where hopefully they'll receive quality care and help. New Hampshire is one of the worst culprits of this as well, that I went to Massachusetts to receive treatment. And I was one of the lucky ones, as I waited a mere 16 hours in the emergency room, in a private room, so to say, aka adjacent to the ER, since everyone's on suicide watch, the curtains open the whole time with the light. Whereas others are forced to stay in the loud, bright hallways of the ER, where you have these so-called private conversations with the doctors, and it was very entertaining. My parents were there as well, and the doctor said, "Do you feel comfortable with your mom here?" And I was like, well, the nurse is right behind me. The other patient is to my right, to my left. I think I'm okay with my mom being right here. I'm saying all this to underline that this is not okay. We need to do more to invest in mental health infrastructure. I know what it feels like to feel like no one's there, like a cavern inside, only growing emptier. I also know that I'm loved. These are not mutually exclusive feelings, but sometimes we teach them as a dichotomy. If you are loved, then you are not alone, and yet you can be loved, and still feel alone. This idea rings true in other ways as well. We are taught programmed responses. So when you see someone and ask, "Are you okay?" and rather than them saying, "Yes, thank you," they say, "No," you're almost shocked. These hollow questions do not serve anyone, but solely perpetuate the stigma that any response other than, "Yes, I am okay," is wrong. As I have opened up to more people, I have received many comments saying, "I'm glad you feel better." I respond amicably, saying, "Thank you, taking it by the day." Although this is an illusion, I may be able to speak, I can smile, I can put on a good face, I can joke. However, that doesn't mean I'm better. It might make you feel better because I don't fit into this vision of what an anxious, depressed person should look like. I think a lot about what might make me feel better, and I still don't know. I was walking the other day. There was a slight breeze, a gorgeous autumn sky that we've been having recently. And there's this thing with soccer players where we will transform anything into a soccer ball, whether it's a dog bone in a house, maybe a little toy, a rock. On this day, it was a leaf. So I went to kick the leaf that was just right in front of me, but it kept gliding away. Each moment as I thought, this was the chance, I'm finally going to capture it, it moved a little further forward. And then this elusive leaf eventually drifted off the path. This is what it is like to find the problem at hand. Sometimes those small feelings that you're like, I don't know what is wrong. It's almost like the leaf that is right within grasp, but it keeps moving away. And then sometimes the leaf, it goes off the path, and then you feel better. And then another leaf comes on, and then you want to kick it like any other soccer ball. And that's kind of what it feels like to wonder, when will I feel better? It's you never know, because it ebbs and flows. We are so driven to find cures that we ignore it is natural and normal to feel bad. Instead of finding cures to sadness and feeling down, we need more support systems that can prop individuals up when they need a hand and provide that safety net that has been needed for far too long. Every day is a new challenge. And while it is filled with uneasiness, I'm grateful I no longer need to wear a mask. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Thanks so much, Jonathan, for sharing and for sharing your being vulnerable up here today. It is brave for you to do that, and to remind us all of supporting each other and really listening when someone asks if you're okay. So, yeah, let's give Jonathan another round of applause. To help present the Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, please welcome to the stage Marlana Trombley, Head of Marketing and PR for Orbit Group.
Good evening. I'm actually here on behalf of our airport director, Ted Kitchens, who couldn't be here. So hello, Ted, joining us virtually. And tonight I am so honored to be giving the award to the Young Entrepreneur of the Year. Dedication, drive, patience, persistence, resourceful, innovative, artistic, cheerful, friendly, personable. These are just some of the words to describe this year's award winner. Anyone who embodies these traits will be a successful person, as these adjectives describe success in itself. I routinely challenge my team with a simple question. Are your habits aligned with your goals? Think about that for a minute. Are your habits aligned with your goals? The characteristics that describe our award winner are just that, habits. So what's a habit? It's defined as an acquired mode of behavior that becomes nearly or completely involuntary. So let's unpack that definition a bit. An acquired mode of behavior, meaning that at some point in time, a habit was a conscious decision to behave in a certain way, becoming nearly or completely involuntary, meaning through repetition. The acquired mode of behavior is weaved into our consciousness to the point of becoming part of who we are. In essence, we become the habits we choose and the habits that we live. When life throws us roadblocks and they get in our way and they try to derail us and get in our way of achieving our goals and our ambitions, and believe me, life will do just that. Your habits undoubtedly rise to the surface and reveal themselves. In such time, we learn about ourselves and we make adjustments to what we need to make. And our award winner chooses habits that have led her to personal and professional success, to receiving this prestigious award tonight. She has spent years perfecting her craft, drive, dedication. She has spent hours finding new ways to compose a scene in just the right light, innovative, artistic, and building her business one client at a time, cheerful, friendly. In preparation for tonight's award, I reviewed the application submitted on behalf of the Young Entrepreneur of the Year. The following words jumped off the page to me. She expects to have to put in the good bit amount of work to achieve high-quality results. She is a long-term thinker who has learned the advantages of not putting things off until the last minute, but instead getting to work and leaving enough time to deal with the unexpected. She is also the kind of person who never is quite satisfied with her own work, but is always striving to make it just a little bit better each time. She followed her heart and her head into something that she's always enjoyed doing and has made it a living doing it. We should all be so lucky. So, on behalf of Ted Kitchens and 2,000 badged employees working at the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, it is my pleasure and honor to introduce this year's Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award, Miss Kelly McCaskill. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you. This is a true honor. Thank you to everyone tonight who made this possible. Thank you to all the friends and family and the amazing clients that have made this possible. Thank you to my work and life partner, David, and my parents that are here tonight that supported me. And more importantly, thank you to the great state of New Hampshire for the opportunity to start my own video business. Ridgelight Studios become so much more than I could imagine, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it grow here. Thank you.
Congrats, Callie. We look forward to your continued success here in New Hampshire. We will now hear remarks from Susan Reeves, Executive Vice President at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center, to introduce the COVID-19 Crusader Award.
To be with you to present this award. New to the Rising Stars Awards in 2021 is the COVID-19 Crusader Award, which honors a dedicated and brave young essential and/or frontline worker that impacted their community during the COVID-19 pandemic. The first ever COVID-19 Crusader Award goes to Megan. My name is Susan Reeves. I'm the Executive Vice President at Dartmouth-Hitchcock Medical Center, and it's my pleasure to be with you to present this award. New to the Rising Stars Awards in 2021 is the COVID-19 Crusader Award, which honors a dedicated and brave young essential and/or frontline worker that impacted their community during the COVID-19 pandemic. The first ever COVID-19 Crusader Award goes to Megan Esbat, owner of Get Fit New Hampshire in Concord, New Hampshire. Megan worked to combat COVID-19 by providing mental health care through exercise and a sense of community within her business. As COVID-19 spread, she rethought how to continue to serve her client base and quickly adapted to providing exercise opportunities online. In addition to creating a written training program, trainers live streamed every day to bring a social connection to her clients. She was able to continue to change her programming as the pandemic spread, with moving to outdoor classes and socially distanced indoor classes. Megan's ability to adapt her business and make fitness more accessible to people during the pandemic directly affected her clients' mental health and well-being. While Megan continued to adapt with the evolving state of the virus, she took on an advocacy role with the state of New Hampshire. She worked with the governor's reopening task force on gym safety and helped to distinguish the difference between personal training studios and big box gyms. She was able to create a safe space mentally and physically for customers as the pandemic continued to spread. Congratulations, Megan. Please join me in welcoming Megan Esbat to accept her award.
Dude, I wear leggings for a living. It is so strange to be up here, but thank you so much to my clients, Jonathan Stahlsmith and Marie Timmons, for nominating me for this award. It is incredible. We have moved into a beautiful 10,000 square foot facility that does allow for social distancing should the pandemic ever choose to get cracked up again. And we are now in a safe space. So thank you so much again. What an honor.
Congrats, Megan, and it's great that you got that new space. So, and let's give Megan one more round of applause. So to present this year's Coolest Employers for Young People Awards, we will hear from Tina Kassem, Deputy Director for the New Hampshire Division of Economic Development.
Once again, we have a People's Choice component to the Coolest Employer for Young People Award. This allows you, the audience, to take part in determining the award winner. This year we extended the voting to the general public prior to this evening's event, which Voting closed at 6:15 tonight, so this is hot off the press. Unlike past years, where there were 3 winners, this year's award is a bit different, as there is only 1 award recipient. You may have had the opportunity to get to know the finalists virtually last week during their Instagram takeover, and had the opportunity to learn more about the attractive work environments they're creating for the state's young people. Here are this year's 2 coolest employer for young people finalists. The finalists for the 2020 Coolest Employers for Young People are Friendly Pets, a local family-owned pet store with locations in Lee, Exeter, and Bedford. Friendly Pets strives to give extremely high level of service to guests and staff. With 99% of employees under the age of 40, the company provides a young person-friendly workplace. Friendly Pets provides extensive training, support professionally and personally, professional development training, and discounts within the store and at other companies for employees' pets. They do their part to care for all animals in New Hampshire by purchasing animals from local breeders, accepting surrenders from owners, and through partnering with rescues. Friendly Pets strives to provide guests with friendly and helpful and knowledgeable shopping experience so that they can extend and enjoy the lives of their furry, scaly, and feathered friends. The other finalist is Medicus Healthcare Solutions of Wyndham. Medicus Healthcare Solutions partners with hospitals across the nation to ensure they have enough physicians ready to provide care to the communities who need it. As a company made up of 77% of people under 40, Medicus has formed partnerships with the University of New Hampshire, Southern New Hampshire University, and Plymouth State University to provide opportunities to students as they prepare for the working world. Medicus understands talent is endless and focuses on providing programming that can lead students from an internship to a full career within healthcare in New Hampshire. Now that you've been introduced to our finalists, please join me in congratulating this year's coolest company for young professionals chosen by the people. Once again, we have a People's Choice component to the Coolest Employer for Young People Award. This allows you, the audience, to take part in determining the award winner. This year we extended the voting to the general public prior to this evening's event.
Perhaps this was when I was asking for your grace and patience with technical difficulties. This is what we're talking about. As you might be able to imagine, trying to put together a hybrid event with hybrid presenters oftentimes can be a bit of a challenge. So we, again, appreciate your grace and patience. I was able to check in with my colleague, Kamini Jorgensen, who I'll introduce in a little bit more detail a little bit later as we're wrapping up, to get the winner of tonight's award. And it is the winner, again, of our People's Choice voting, which just ended, as Tina said, at 6:15 tonight, is Friendly Pets of Lee, New Hampshire. We'll get your award to you once we get it played.
Hi, everybody. I just want to say thank you guys so much for this opportunity. Thank you for hosting us here, and it's an amazing, amazing opportunity, so we really appreciate it, and thanks.
So let's give a round of applause to tonight's winner and finalists and to all the incredible companies that are here in the Granite State. And now to help present our final category of the evening, I'd like to introduce Dr. David Lieb, Chair of Microbiology and Immunology at Dartmouth College.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here in person rather than hybrid. It is my pleasure and my honor to recognize this year's Young Person of the Year. This award recognizes an outstanding individual who lives and works in New Hampshire between the ages of 18 and 40, and who is a rising star in their industry and is giving back to their community. This year's Young Person of the Year is Fiona McEnany. Fiona is currently a PhD candidate at Dartmouth College, and as a New Hampshire native who grew up in the North Country, Fiona saw firsthand a medically underserved area, and at a young age she witnessed inequities in medicine through family and other community members. This upbringing brought equity and social justice to the forefront of her work through lab-based science and also through political advocacy. Fiona attended Plymouth State University, earning 2 bachelor's degrees. Apparently one wasn't enough for her. And she continued to get a master's degree in public health from Dartmouth College. While at Plymouth State University, Fiona spent time mentoring women and underrepresented students and mentoring elementary school students in the Hanover, New Hampshire area. Fiona's accomplishments include interning with a comprehensive AIDS service organization, administering hearing tests to migrant farm workers, starting a free reproductive health clinic, funding a health-centered voter engagement advocacy team, and helping the Northern New Hampshire Medical Reserve Corps run COVID-19 vaccine clinics. She strives to build a bridge between the scientific and the political communities as both a researcher and a leader, with the hope she will have a direct impact on her native New Hampshire North Country, as well as other underserved regions and populations. When asked about Fiona, Felice Room, one of her professors at Plymouth State University, said, "What she has accomplished within a short period of time is hard to conceive. I don't think she wastes a single day without improving herself, but more importantly, I don't think a day passes that she doesn't touch a life and make a difference." I couldn't agree more with what was said. She is continuing her education by pursuing a PhD degree in my lab, working on herpes infections that are particularly devastating to infants. And so once again, her research is aimed to help the most vulnerable in our world. She has already had a significant impact on the research program in my lab, and I am certain that on top of everything else, all the incredible things she's already accomplished, that she is destined to excel in the field of virology. We are so fortunate to have Fiona as a leader and an advocate for public health and for social justice, as well as a rising star in virology in the state of New Hampshire. Congratulations, Fiona, and please join me on the stage to accept your award.
Thank you, Dr. Lieb, for that very kind introduction. And thank you to Stay Work Play for this incredible honor. It's a complete honor to be here. Stay Work Play's mission is important to our statewide community, and I'm honored to be here and to be able to make a difference in the communities in which I was raised. I'm very grateful to my mentors at Dartmouth College and at Plymouth State University, my lab, my friends, and most importantly, my family, for your unending support. I'm excited to be in New Hampshire and to look forward to an inclusive, equitable future for our state. Thank you again.
Congrats, Fiona, and thank you for your hard work and dedication to improving public health and making New Hampshire more equitable. Let's give Fiona another round of applause as our Young Person of the Year in 2021. Grad students have a special spot in my heart, as my two guests are a PhD graduate and someone who's in their chemistry PhD right now. So I know how much the grind can be. And to all of this evening's award winners, thank you for the remarkable work that you do in shaping the future of the Granite State, the place that we stay, the place we work, the place we live, and where we play. So thank you all for an absolutely beautiful evening. It's been a pleasure to be your host, to be at the Currier, to see all of the work that everyone is doing, the way that they are bringing themselves to what they do as well, and improving our state, and making it a place that young people want to stay. So thank you so much, everyone, and I have really enjoyed getting to hear, what people are doing here. So just a round of applause to all of our winners and the companies as well. And I'll hand it over to Will.
Thank you, Daniela, for being tonight's MC. I think she did a fantastic job. What do y'all think? Give her a hand. And I will echo Daniela's sentiments. Congratulations to all our winners. This is, my favorite event of the year for a couple of reasons. The biggest is it's so inspiring, to see these young people doing so much at such a young age. And it's both inspiring and, sometimes it makes me feel probably maybe like some of you, like a little bit of a slacker too. But in the best possible way, because I know that these young people are out here doing such incredible work to make the Granite State so much more of a special place for us all to enjoy. And we definitely look forward to seeing what you have coming in the future, because I know that what you've done so far is only prelude to what comes next. So again, thank you for all your contributions to this state, and good luck with your future endeavors. So before we go, I'd like to take a moment to recognize someone who recently left the employ of Stay Work Play after a 6-year tenure. She was our veteran employee at Stay Work Play New Hampshire. And many of you, I'm sure, have had the pleasure of getting to know Beth Sansucci and her enthusiasm for the Granite State and for Stay Work Play. Beth started out as the organization's administrator 6 years ago and recently concluded her tenure here as our Director of Communications. And indeed, she loves this organization so much, she was here tonight volunteering at registration. So if that doesn't say and encapsulate who Beth Sansucci is, I don't know what does. I've had the distinct pleasure of getting to work and to know Beth and work with her since taking the helm at Stay Work Play back in 2017. And in our 4 years of working together, she has helped me immeasurably. I know I speak for our board of directors when I say we are very much going to miss working alongside her every day. We will miss her professionalism, her sense of humor, and her excitement for life in the Granite State. Beth is usually one who, if you know her, knows that she likes to stay behind the scenes. But before we go, Beth, prepare yourself. I'm going to ask her to momentarily come down to stage in the spotlight and accept a small token of appreciation from two members of our board of directors, John Green and Caitlin Woods. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Beth Sansucci. And Beth, we do expect you to say a few words.
Wow. So this was not expected whatsoever, and I'll be having talks with both of you later. I've been with the organization for over 6 years and seen it go through so many different iterations. Working with Will Stewart, he's incredible, and his heart and soul is into what this next generation of leaders is all about. And the woman behind the scenes for this event, Kamini, incredible, authentic, wonderful. So, very hard, difficult decision to leave that organization, but staying in the Granite State and working to also make it a better place with clean energy, New Hampshire. So thank you all for being here tonight, enjoying yourselves and your speeches tonight. It's really heart-wrenching. So I'm gonna go now, but thank you all, have a good night.
Yes, we do. We do love you, Beth. And we're glad that you're staying here in New Hampshire. I wouldn't have let you tender your resignation otherwise. So speaking of Stay Work Play staff, I'd also like to take a moment to the opportunity to introduce you to Kamini Jorgensen. Yes. Kamini is Stay Work Play's recently, relatively new, I should say, events and programs coordinator. And Kamini started here less than 2 months ago and was immediately tasked with putting on tonight's event. And I'd say she's done a pretty good job. What about you? So thank you again, Kamini, and welcome again to the Stay Work Play team. And finally, tonight, I'd like to once again thank our host, the Currier Museum of Art, as well as our partner for this event, the team at New Hampshire Public Radio, that works so seamlessly on this event with us every year. And again, we love having you as a partner. Thank you to NHPR and the Currier Museum of Art. Also like to thank, again, Eversource, the presenting sponsor for the 2021 Rising Stars Awards. Excuse me. I know I've said this before, and I'll say it again because it's absolutely true. Without their support and that of all of our other sponsors, tonight's event and everything that we do at Stay Work Play simply would not be possible. And while I have you, before we go here in just a moment, just want to put a bug in everyone's ear that nominations for the 13th annual Rising Stars Awards will be open in the spring of 2022. So we have a few months between now and then, and in that time, I'm encouraging you to start thinking and noticing all of the incredible young people here in the state. We want to know about that young talent who are in your personal spheres and your professional spheres. Keep them in mind, and please nominate them when nominations open in March. So with that, thank you all for your continued support of Stay Work Play and our mission to attract and retain more young people here in the Granite State. Have a great evening, everyone.